Sam Bankman-Fried presented a specific, curated image to the public. As a 20-something billionaire leading the crypto boom, he wore cargo shorts and kept his hair unkempt, projecting the persona of a brilliant but distracted mathematician. In November 2022, the company's financials hit a point of no return. Billions of dollars in customer deposits vanished almost instantly, leaving a deep negative balance that triggered an immediate bankruptcy. When federal prosecutors brought charges, Bankman-Fried's legal team argued the collapse was a tragic accident, the result of a company growing too fast, led by a math nerd who practiced poor risk management. To get a conviction, the government had to prove that the missing money wasn't an accounting error. They had to show the jury that there was deliberate criminal intent behind every dollar that left the exchange. To pierce the public image and prove that intent, prosecutors turned to the three people who saw the fraud from the inside. They would provide the jury with an account of how a global empire was built on a foundation of deception. Gary Wang was Bankman-Fried's childhood friend and the co-founder of FTX. Facing his own legal jeopardy, he took the stand under a cooperation agreement with the government. Wang testified that Bankman-Fried explicitly directed him to alter the exchange's computer code. The purpose was to grant special, hidden privileges to Alameda Research, the separate crypto hedge fund Bankman-Fried also owned. This setup functioned as a secret backdoor. The modified code allowed Alameda to draw unlimited credit, draining customer money whenever the hedge fund needed it. Wang showed this was no accounting accident. Structural theft was hard-coded into the foundation from day one. The prosecution's most devastating witness was Caroline Ellison, the former CVL of Alameda Research and Bankman-Fried's on-and-off girlfriend. She described the crypto crash of May 2022 as the moment the cover-up became unsustainable. As lenders called back their loans, Alameda was left with a massive, unpayable $10 billion hole in its accounts. Ellison told the jury that Bankman-Fried explicitly ordered her to illegally appropriate more FTX customer money to cover those margin calls. She also detailed the creation of 7 alternative balance sheets. These documents were specifically designed to present conflicting data to investors, hiding the multi-billion-dollar deficit behind a wall of fake numbers. Bankman-Fried justified these actions internally through utilitarianism, the belief that amassing wealth for the greater good morally excuses committing fraud. Ellison broke into tears as she recounted the final days before the exchange went under. She told the jury that the collapse brought a sense of relief, because for the first time in years, she didn't have to lie anymore. Her testimony proved he actively managed a massive financial cover-up, manipulating his closest partners to execute it. Nishad Singh, the head of engineering, had his own realization in late 2022. He saw billions of dollars in the system that were simply unaccounted for. Singh described a panicked confrontation in September 2022 on a penthouse balcony, where he demanded to know what happened to the missing customer funds. Singh testified that Bankman-Fried was fully aware of the crisis but brushed it off, a response that directly contradicted the defense's claim that the CEO was just ignorant and overwhelmed. By the time the company collapsed, Singh realized that the business had become deeply evil. The loyalists who built the exchange were now the ones identifying the moral rot at its core. Bankman-Fried eventually made the highly risky decision to testify in his own defense, ignoring the advice of legal experts. On the stand, he doubled down on his image as an inexperienced visionary. He claimed he didn't know about the financial shortfall and attempted to shift the blame for the collapse onto Caroline Ellison. The jury rejected his narrative entirely. After a short deliberation, they found him guilty on all 7 counts, including fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering. He was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison. The inner circle who cooperated with the government now face their own paths to sentencing and redemption. Following the verdict, federal regulators reviewed the wreckage. SEC Chair Gary Gensler provided the final assessment of the operation. Gensler concluded that Bankman-Fried didn't build a safe crypto platform, but rather a house of cards on a foundation of deception. Bankman-Fried's Silicon Valley persona was a mask for a multi-billion-dollar heist. His closest partners tripped the witness stand to show the jury that the billions weren't lost to math errors or market crashes, but to deliberate theft.